Bible says don't get weary in well-doing. And if you know you're doing well, don't get weary. Just keep on encouraging and encouraging and encouraging. And we will be a city. We must be a city. And I think the word that's out is getting across real well. But let's continue to lift each other up, continue to love on each other, continue to encourage each other. And whatever we do, let's not separate from each other.
I think church is one place that we can be politically correct and say Merry Christmas. I mean, that's politically correctness in church. Out there we say it differently, but I'm so glad you're here. Just a little overview about South Fulton United. South Fulton United is an organization that got started last spring with the hopes of going to our legislators to encourage them to pass a bill that would enable the citizens of South Fulton, unincorporated South Fulton, to go to the poll and vote yes to create a new city. We met one evening in Anatole subdivision hosted by Mr. Littles and many people from the surrounding community. And it was overwhelming in the consensus that the people who were there wanted to do this, wanted to create a city. We invited people to that meeting who, the last time we went down this road, not everybody that we invited supported cityhood then. But we wanted a cross-section of people, people who were for it, people who were against it, and people who were neutral, and people who didn't even get involved last time. They knew nothing about anything. So after we talked about the right thing to do, considering what the legislature had done to South Fulton in the 2013 legislature, it was determined that the right thing to do was to go forward. So from that meeting, we started meeting every week. We formed a 501c3 so that we can appropriately raise money that will be tax deductible to the contributor so that we can fund the necessary parts of the project to make this work. So we have gone from that point to this point where not only is there South Fulton, there are other organizations who perhaps spun out of this one, and we all are on the same track, and that is with the destination to create a new city. We may do it differently, we may say things differently, but one thing that we are certain about is that the right thing to do for our community is to create the next great city in Fulton County, and that's the city of South Fulton. Debra?
You don't want to ignore another elected official that has just walked in, Commissioner Bill Edwards. Something to say?
Elected official until next week.
It's okay, it's still on there.
Listen, I just want to say Merry Christmas and Happy New Year there. Ladies and gentlemen, there are some annexations that make sense. When the Union City annexation came in, I met with Vince Williams, the mayor. We met with Majestic. For that project with some difficulty, but we put in some conditions in terms of lighting, in terms of sound, and in terms of buffer as it faces Stonewall Tail. It was a good annexation. The paper made it sound like Union City was coming in, they were yobbling up a little bit more, but it was 28 acres and it was a good annexation. So some of them make sense. And it's good to do that. Where it makes sense, do it. Because if you don't do it when it makes sense, they're going to think you're just hating. When they come with those big annexations. So I wanted to make that clear because the paper, it just went off.
You know, this has been a long journey for a lot of us. Some of us go back, I know Benny talked about a couple of years ago, but the truth is that this really started almost, 8, 9 years ago. It's been a long journey for a number of us. And, when they came to me and asked me if I would sponsor the bill again, in all candor, I was kind of worn out from the last time we tried to do this. And we said, let's make sure that we just have, people from all over the unincorporated area involved, because we don't want to get halfway down the road and find out that half of the people don't want to do it. So that's what happened. And we basically carved the area up into council areas. We came up with 7. Primarily just so that we would make sure that we had the whole area covered and everybody would have good representation. And the folks worked real hard. I look around the room, not all of us, but most of us have hair the same color as mine. So what we're doing is building something for the generations that come behind us. And if we can create a city that can be run by people who look like us, people who have common, interests like us, and we can control the economy of that area, we can develop the land that's in that area, we will be setting the stage for our children that has never been set, to my knowledge, anywhere in this country. And that's why I'm really pushing for it, is because we have, like I said, this is the absolutely most unique opportunity I've seen in my lifetime to empower ourselves, to empower our people, and to give our children a fighting chance economically to do the things that they need to do for their future. And that's why I hope that you get behind it. I hope you will talk to your neighbors, your friends, and everybody else, and get them to get behind this, not for us, but for the ones that come behind us, this young lady here and some of the others. Okay? Thank you very much. Turn it over to my colleague here. People keep asking me about the name. And what I want to put forward, the only reason why we kept the name South Fulton is because that is the only thing that currently defines the entire area that we're talking about. If I say South Fulton, everybody knows what that means. If I say Cliftondale, people in Cliftondale knows what that means. If I say Sandtown, people in Sandtown knows what that means. So we can't, start out naming it after one of the communities that are within South Fulton, because that would confuse people. So that's why we just calling it South Fulton. It's a placeholder. At some point in the future, when the city is formed, if people want to come up with a different name, then we will have a referendum to do that. And but for right now, that's the easiest way to define the entire area.
I just want to thank y'all for coming out. Merry Christmas. My name is LaDawn Blacket Jones. I represent District 62, which includes East Point, College Park, South Fulton, and Douglas County. And I just want to thank y'all for the years of hard work you all have put in on this movement. When you all started in 2006, I was just moving back here from law school. I grew up in this community and graduated from Westlake. And at the time, it was a great idea. And I was so glad that folks led it forward. But now, it's a do-or-die idea, right? We really don't have an option but to create this city to ensure the quality of life that we have here in South Fulton. And that's the reason why I'm fighting for it. And I look forward to seeing you guys down at the Capitol. I look forward to seeing you out in the community. The thing that I know is going to make us win is with leadership like Representative Bruce, that's going to get it through the House, and Donzella James is going to get it through the Senate. And then with this team of volunteers that we're going to have here, so we're going to get out in the streets to make sure that folks vote yes. It's a done deal. So with that, Merry Christmas.
Come and behold him, born the King of angels. Oh, come, let us adore him. Oh, come, let us adore him. Oh, come, let us adore him, Christ the Lord.
Go on.